Welcome to Sunday Night Spaces with AltJake and George, live on YouTube.
Good evening. Sunday Night Spaces for February 1st, 2026. My name's George. Welcome to AltJakeTakesOn, excuse me. And now the host, the man that we all come to hear besides me, and not me very often, my good friend AltJake. AltJake.
How are you doing, my friend? I'm
Surprising,
in a
great mood.
We had the Royal Rumble yesterday, as we talked about at length at on Toonie Talk Wrestling during the watch along. This was very much it's my favorite event of the year. And I mean, I don't know, what was it? There was 5 of us watching it. We all enjoyed it, seemed to have fun during it. But then you go on the internet later and it seems to be that some people were very, very much not. But no,
it's weird. I
know
me, I don't bother, but I watched it again this morning when I woke up.
Yeah.
So, I thought it was actually
too
better than I thought. So
say hi to some people in the chat here. So we got LC Killer in there. Yeah, Brad Becker loved it. You and Cumia showing up here. Yeah, that's a good one to put in there too. Yeah, we want to see if we can get up to 25 likes during the live show. We've been, it's funny because we started at like 10 or even like maybe 5, and now we're trying to get for 25. It's fun to be part of it's fun to watch the growth. It's really cool. It's
small goals.
Really
small goals add up quickly.
But that's the thing is, like, because where we are now, I was hoping for, like, my birthday's in June. That's kind of what I was looking for, was like, maybe we can get to that 500 mark by my birthday was what I was hoping for. But now it's kind of like, we're at 452 subscribers now, so knocking on the door of 500. No guest this week, and I think we figured with the Rumble we were just going to want to cover that as far as as much as we could, because
maybe
we have a lot to cover.
Yeah, maybe next week, but probably not, because we're going to be going early next week.
Yeah, I was literally good on you for bringing that up. That was my transition I was going to mention too, was that with next Sunday being the Super Bowl, we're going to do one of our earlier start times for it, which is cool for our folks over across the pond. I remember when we had Zeus on before, and Shubin is one of my good friends from London. And so if they want you, and especially too, I know there are people that care about the Super Bowl and stuff there for it, but they may not be worrying about the pregame stuff or whatever. But there's
only take
8 hours.
8-9 hours of pregame. I'm a huge NFL fan. I can't sit there and watch all that.
Yeah,
crap.
I mean, it's even just like it's just like the Royal Rumble. Like, so what? It started at the Royal Rumble started at noon my time, and we were going on at 11:30 my time for Toonie Talk Wrestling. So I 10:50 something, I turned on my TV and went to ESPN, and that was more than enough pregame. What else could they have covered? How much pregame do you need? I get it for some of the interviews and video packages it's cool for, and I could see hey, if you are one of the people, if you hadn't watched all year or paid that close of attention, or maybe watch Cena's last match or whatever and just tuned in for that, hey, that makes a lot of sense. Actually, I could see that being watch an hour of that, maybe in 90 minutes. I'm caught up. I know everything that's going on. I'm ready for the Rumble. That's actually a great idea. I didn't even think about that.
I do hope one thing, though, Jake. I hope that when they get to the WrestleMania, when they have it there, they have a local start. They have a local start time of about 8:00.
Well,
because their start time for this was 10 o'clock their time, which is stupid.
Yeah, I don't. Well,
it doesn't matter what time it starts here. We're all gonna freaking watch.
Yeah, I just people didn't show up on time anyway for it. People were late.
It started at 10. Where the hell are they?
Yeah, because SmackDown the night before it aired at I think they went on at 8:00 their time, or maybe 9:00, because I think it went on. It either went on at 10 or 11 a.m. my time. It was definitely earlier than the Royal Rumble. So that was more of a local start time, and that even had a low start. I mean, that had a low starting attendance. At least that one I got, because Michael Cole said it's part of the culture, and that I totally got. I mean, that's like Italian culture, Spanish culture has that. Different cultures have different things. That's when I went to Egypt for a week in 2009. Oh man, I told you that story.
I don't know. I never heard this.
We won't dive deep into it, but the crux of the story is I won, and I'm not kidding about this, a bottle cap from Dr. Pepper grand prize.
I do remember. Okay.
Yeah, I meant, yeah, things like the code, like we entered the code online. I'm looking at the calendar I bought when I was there. So yeah, no, it was the Indiana Jones trip, but like the culture there, they're a little bit different about stuff, about even just like how they treat people in restaurants. Just, I don't remember a ton of it because it was a long time ago, but just there's different cultures for different places. So if showing up late is part of your culture, you know, I would have think the later start time would have mattered, but I don't know. I also think too, though, with WrestleMania, it won't be just the Saudi culture, because even last night there was a lot more.
A lot of white folk there.
Yeah, there was a lot of European influence, and I mean that's also too. I've seen a lot of like when you like English commercials and stuff. When I watch certain videos or different things, you get different commercials and stuff. I've seen like there's a lot of travel commercials there with like, what is it? The Emirates airline is a big one, you know, for there, and like Qatar and like, you know, like Dubai, to try to have people to travel to them. So it is definitely a travel destination. Also too, I mean, if you live in like England, I'm assuming it's like just like what it is in a lot of the states right now, weather-wise, not the worst to be able to get to somewhere where the weather's a lot nicer for it. I just
pretty easy trip, right?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, what from London
to Riyadh can't be that bad.
I mean, yeah, I would say even at worst, it's like 5-6 hours. It's not like the 16 or whatever flight from here. Even so, but like if you live in like Spain or Italy, France, you know, Greece, I mean, that's not far at all. Yeah,
and I do understand the prayer thing, the culture there. I understand the prayers at a certain time.
I forgot about that.
But you can't just have people show. I mean, 10 o'clock start for them, and they weren't in their seats for at least 2 hours, at least.
Yeah,
they saw last night
for sure. And there were some people I'm like, did they show up at all? Yeah, it's funny. I'm so glad Ray J's World said this. They have a Six Flags in Saudi. I saw that thing too of it. So I also am seeing this going around too. Something happened between AJ Styles and Peter Rosenberg. I don't know what it is. It literally just hit the Toonie Talk group chat before I came on to here. That's a perfect thing for Toonie Talk. We've been doing, Dis and I were talking, and Awful, we're talking after the most recent one. That's kind of what we're going to do, I think, more is like not so much reviews, because we all can do that on our own stuff, and kind of cover Dave and cover news and cover, you know, what the breaking story of Tony's 800 burner account. So they're already looking into it, and I'm sure that'll be a great topic to tune in on Tuesday on youtube.com/@ToonWrestling every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's been I'm now like a full month of being a panelist on that show, and that's been a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to this one now, because this is what happens. We kind of like, what are we going to talk about? I don't know. Something will come up, and it always does.
Always does.
Yeah. All I know is that Peter Rosenberg did like one of those selfie videos in his car to like explain his side of the story. It's like, I'm like, if you're already there with it, like shit's gone down. So we'll see.
Back.
Yeah. Well,
that's why I tune into Tuesdays.
Exactly.
I don't want to deal with this crap.
And for me, it's great because I don't have to pay that close. Like they'll fill me in with the details, and I give you my live reaction. And George knows me; I'm better off that way. Like we show prep like outlines of what we're gonna barely talk about. We don't get into the details and stuff because I'm better off the cuff with it. I'm not gonna be able to re-say it later. So I'm not like a stand-up comedian. I'm not gonna write a joke for you. Do that. I'm just gonna talk and think and react. It's much more fun.
Our show prep, folks.
Yeah.
Our show prep is a half an hour before the show. Jake makes me get in here and we work hard.
Hey, I did. You'll wait till you see how many pictures I went and got. I do go online and get the pictures. Although shout out to WWE, they make it easy with their website and going into getting info. But I watched SmackDown, and that was from the same little the arena that they built for it. But I mean, it really wasn't. The show was setting up for the Rumble. They didn't even sell it out for that show because it's like a 25,000 capacity, and they only had 18,000 for that one, which I think we can finally like put to bed the comparisons to North Korea, where people are like, oh, it's if you don't go, there's going to be militia.
It's not government.
Yeah, it's not state. It's not like, what is it? Was a collision in Korea and Pyongyang? Like, we got 180,000 and they don't know what's going on. Like, and this also had, what was it? The black market, the scalpers. There was that going on too, which hasn't happened. So market. Yeah, they're a Western society now. Yeah, scalpers. It's just they're a much more Western society with it, which, good for the people of Saudi Arabia, because I've always felt like they've gotten a bad rap for what happens, like with the journalists and stuff, or with the royal families and stuff, like they're the ones that represent the country on a national level, and whatever happens and whatever the hate geared towards them. But like, I don't know, the people that like work a 9 to 5 in Saudi Arabia and Riyadh, and we're like, I get to go to a WWE show, like no harm, no foul on them. So
yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. So the one thing,
typical international show. Yeah.
Before we roll, and I forgot to mention to you,
what's up?
Even though our weather is kind of back to normal, my driveway is a complete sheet of ice. And it's an uphill driveway. Okay. It's an uphill driveway when I go to work, and it's a downhill driveway when I come home.
Oh,
so I don't park anywhere. I just kind of walk it, and it's a good thing I'm a hockey player from the old days.
I was just about to say, putting them hockey skills to work. That was the sentence I was going for. You
ought to see me in the morning trying to get up this thing. It's a challenge.
That's funny. I mean, hey, you gotta make it work where you can, for sure. I just feel like this was much more of like just being the Saudi show. What's up?
You're doing a little robotics thing, catching you early.
All right, are we good? Are we cool?
Yeah, sounds like.
All right, cool. No, the robotic thing is normally StreamYard, so we'll be good. But yeah, might as well dive right into it. I mean, it is the Royal Rumble. If anybody who didn't tune into the Toonie Talk live show yesterday, the watch along, we did the old like numbers pool where we got random numbers drawn and people had different picks for it. That was a lot of fun. It gave you a lot of interest to watch the middle sections of it where it could lull with it. But we knew they were going to start with the Women's Rumble, and they did. The stage looked cool. I liked the stage and the setup. I mean, is what it is, with it being a stadium they built in 6 weeks.
I think it's less than that, isn't it?
Right. I just mean, I don't know.
I forgot it was outside. I did
forgot, too.
And they showed the one picture of it, and you can see the parking lot.
Yeah, and they did the the kickoff thing outside of it too. They made like a nice little area for it. I was surprised that Charlotte kicked it off, but it ended up making sense. Yeah. To have Charlotte start it and then go right and have Alexa come out, and then they both like almost did their finishers or set them up or whatever with it, and then hit their poses and stuff. And it was I think they kind of put a lot of faith in Kiana James to come out next. And this is kind of where I wanted to have this picture in there where we can see the crowd shots. Whether the people were there or not, having those LED lights setting up as like above the headrest, I guess somebody thought it would look cool, like a drone, like the drone art in the air stuff, but it did not come off that.
No, because you can tell there's a few people sitting there.
Right.
You can see a couple blops there, but
yeah. Well, and but honestly, it took me a while to figure that part out, because even if somebody's there, the light's still above their head. So there were times where they would show camera shots from the side where you could tell there were people there from then, and then they went back to the ring and it looks like nobody. And then it doesn't help that because it wasn't even just outside, it was completely open air. There was no like upper level, so the sound just shot right up and out. Because I rewatched it too, and some of the stuff that we thought didn't get a reaction live definitely didn't, but some of the stuff did or got a small reaction, but the sound was like it was like gone right away. It was like, hi, we're out of here, bye. Like, it was just done. And
I kind of wish that when you sat in your seat, the light would go off.
Yeah, there's something with it. I don't know. I feel like somebody early enough should just be like, you know what, bad idea, we're turning those off.
Well, they figured it out a little ways.
Yeah, I early on it.
Screw it.
Yeah, and I mean, that's one of those things that's like, when you're trying to be innovative and do new stuff with technology, there's going to be times where it doesn't come off so well. And
or if you hurry way too fast and put it up way too quick and don't run tests.
Also yes, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Because there was stuff with like, what is it? The Intuit Dome in LA that's got all the cool stuff, and it works really well, because sometimes innovation is cool. But yeah, you're right. Rushing it. I feel like the engineering side, they had it figured out. They just didn't test it yet.
Right.
I mean, it was that way for SmackDown. I just feel like, but I mean, that's the thing about it is though, is you're seeing so many people being like, where they're like, oh, there was nobody there. It's like, there's AEW crowd, like nobody's there. It's like, you can't make both jokes. They can't be getting paid for a sold show.
In this shot you picked out, the lights are all off.
Yes. Or like the camera flashes on there or something. Yeah. And you could tell this one was sparse, which we were talking about earlier, and shout out to Dis. And like, it is still true. Like with that culture, they don't care as much about the women's match and stuff. So starting with the women's match, there was going to be less people there for that. And we couldn't figure it out. He figured it out. It's what it was.
And going back watching it, this women's rumble was much better than I thought it was initially.
Yeah, because I was catching clips. I was watching it from the side. I wasn't like I wasn't watching every little part of it because so there was definitely more stuff that did make a lot of sense and cool spots. And I mean, they had a great lineup for it too. But then to have, Charlotte knocking out Alexa Bliss and that kind of thing to continue that storyline with it, there was a lot of good story that went along with the stuff. But I mean, Charlotte was sad about it, so there was that with it. It was just,
I did like how they started with them too.
Yeah,
and everyone's like, "Well, why aren't they fighting?"
Because they're tag team partners.
They're tag team partners, and you just pretend you're gonna fight and just let it slide.
And
2 minutes or whatever they had.
They're supposed the whole thing is that they've actually become like the best of friends.
Supposedly,
so like that's a little bit different with them in it too. But this is another one of those shots too with the crowd where the lights are off or maybe the flash is hitting it differently of it, but you can still see that there's definitely not a ton of people in there.
And there's no, like you said, there's no upper deck. So where those lights are, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, it was just one lower bowl with it, kind of like an old school, like a high school or a soccer style stadium. Good to see Sol Ruka coming in as early as she did. I was glad to see. We didn't do a recorded podcast this week because we knew we were gonna. Well, here's the thing: we knew we were gonna do like 3.5 hours yesterday on Toonie Talk. Did not realize it was gonna be 4. Which I don't know if you guys noticed, but at the beginning of the show, Dis was like, "Oh yeah, we're still gonna go live today." Yeah, and then by the end of it, like, "Yeah, we're good. That's a lot. It's enough." 4 hours is a lot. So.
Yeah, it didn't feel like 4 hours.
It didn't.
When I looked at the clock, I was like, "Thanks for the 3 hours of time, guys." And I looked 4 hours of time. Just tells me, I'm like, "Oh shit."
It didn't until we were done, and then like I feel like the adrenaline wore off, and I was like, "Whew," I'm a little beat. Yeah, it was a lot, but it was fun. Like it was a lot of fun. But I was gonna say when I watched NXT, there was a few ladies that were on the show, but not in front of the audience. So they could have filmed those as vignettes or before. And Soul was the number one, like the stuff with her and Zarya, and you kind of knew that she was going to be a big important. Well, I kind of hoped that she was going to be a big important part of it, and she was. So that was cool.
We're up to 15 likes now, so 10 more, please, would be nice. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Appreciate it.
I was also going to say too. Remember, the guys, we had the little like heart logo thing for the reactions. Those count too. I don't know what they do, but they show up in the stats. They make me feel good. I don't know. I'm not sure. The likes and the comments are what's most important to the algorithm, as far as we know. But as anybody who knows anything about the YouTube algorithm, it loves to change. It changes all the time, and no one really
loves the heart emoji.
Hey, we're all for it. We like them here. But I feel like it wasn't like Lash Legends Rumble to lose, but this was definitely like her breakout, her coming out party. Like they definitely were making her an important part of this. A part of this match, and obviously a big part of the show moving forward. We've talked about it before, though. She's not like anybody else. Who else looks like her, has her size, has her athletic ability, and then clearly has her willingness to take coaching. We talk about it ad nauseum, but we've got new viewers every time, new listeners every time. I was watching NXT from the start with her, and it was very rough for the first 6 months. You could see some improvement, but it just didn't really seem to be clicking. And then all of a sudden, she picked it up and figured it out, and it's been awesome to see.
Yeah, if you think about it, what's the blonde girl's name that went down to Evolve, and she came back up this week again?
Oh! I know who you're talking about. Oh gosh,
but they were
Tiger Girl. I forget her name.
Yeah, me too. But they came up at the same time, and they were in the same beginning class. I remember seeing
Nikita Lyons.
Nikita Lyons, yes.
Yeah.
She didn't get it.
Yes,
and
Lash
did. That's because they were both the same. When I started watching, they both were there.
Compare. Wow, that's knocked it out of the park. Knocked it out of the park there, George. No, that's awesome. That's a great. That's like the sliding doors moment. One went one way and one went the other, and look at the difference. Nikita Lyons is just now back on NXT after 12 months in Evolve, and we'll see how much better she gets. And Lash Legend is being a legend in the Royal Rumble. Wow, that was great. Wait,
Just
what a
just
callback,
clicking in my
friend.
mind.
Yeah, no, that's great. See, this is why we do this show live like this, and it's better than figuring that out in a pre-show conversation. That was awesome. Yeah, give George a like for that if you haven't liked this video yet. And if you haven't subscribed, every subscription helps. We really appreciate. No, that was an amazing insight on that, because it really is true. Like, that's dead on. They were about the exact same level, and Nikita was more over. Well, and Nikita was more over because of the online stuff about it. And Lash Legend put her head down, busted her ass, put the work in, and is wow. Yeah, that's dead on though. That's dead on. I only got this picture because we mentioned it during the show of Chelsea's get up. Like, you knew she was going to do something cool with it. Hey, she's, like I said, more people need to have her mentality. I don't know if she needs to wear new gear every show, but that's what she wants to do. This was
cool. I liked this. It was the moment I needed. You've got to.
Yeah, and we're not people that, it's not like we don't hate comedy and wrestling. I know some people think we're AEW haters and we hate it. No, there's time for comedy, and every Royal Rumble, you've got to have a comedy spot in there somewhere. Like, it's 30 people in there, like whether it's Santino getting knocked out, even like, I know the Drew Carey stuff people thought was stupid, but like when he gave Kane money and then left it, you got to have something with it. And Chelsea was perfect with it. And of course they have the, moments like this with Judgment Day and stuff. And I don't know. I love it.
Who's her partner there?
It's Alba Fire. Alba Fire.
Alba made me laugh a couple times because she was classic.
She's great in this little role with it, and she's very talented in ring, so she's just great with it. This was awesome. No, she was fun with it, and it was great with it. It's something with those. You got to give shout out to the Scottish people. They just have a great sense of humor. You got her. Piper had a good sense of humor. Yep. Drew has a great sense of humor.
I dug the whole like when Chelsea was getting out of the ring, she was laying outside the ring and Chelsea.
This part right here?
Yes.
Yeah, I got it. No, I had to. I saw that. Yeah, it's
awesome.
so good. And they kept trying with it. Like, that's fun with it. And they're not going to win, but it's also one of those things too, where Chelsea keeps doing stuff like this, getting over with it. At some point, she's going to turn into a massive baby face and actually go on a run or something. And it's just, that's the type of work that you need in this business with it, for sure.
She knows her. She knows her role. That's perfect for her,
and she's great with it. She's awesome with it.
You have to have the personality to be able to pull that off, though.
Yeah,
you can't just give somebody this and expect them to do it. You have to have that inside you, and she obviously does.
Yeah. And even like the stuff with Rhea and the salute, and like she knows what she's doing. No, it's class. She's got that Canadian sense of humor, like Dan Aykroyd and Mike Myers and stuff. That's great. There was different points though too, where you kept pointing out a lot of ladies in there, a lot of people in that ring. There was a lot of
clutter. That's the only problem.
Yeah, there was a few different times, and they made it work for the most part. But there was definitely a couple of times where you're just like, okay, I don't know what the plan here is, but we've got a lot of people in that ring. But I mean, is what it is with it. But
that's the toughest thing to manage in all this.
Yeah,
is you can't like, we'll see it in the men's rumble later. You get too much clutter and you can't do a spot like you're planning on doing because you're going to hit somebody, which they do.
Yeah. Like Brock trying to do an F5 with that spinning around, or whatever. There's parts you got to, which is why you've got people that you got to do big clear outs and stuff with it. More stuff with the Kabuki Warriors, always fun, at least with, eventually that's going to turn. I still think there might be the three of them, these two and EO having a triple threat at Mania, like an all Japanese ladies triple threat. I could see them really wanting that.
Happy.
But I mean, it's one of those things where I'm not the biggest fan of three-ways, but that is a very cool thing.
That would be one. That would be one. Yes.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, that's a cool thing to check off on the list. And I feel like you could get to there somehow with it. The biggest surprise of the women's rumble, though, did not see this coming any way, shape, or form. Even when her sister came out, we were like, nah, it's not going to happen. But it was Brie mode. What? What? I mean, somebody check out. I mean, what is, maybe Bryan Danielson's pissed about like making him travel with the neck stuff. I don't know. I
don't know what transpired to make this happen, because last time we heard there was no chance in hell this was going to happen.
And like, not even a little. And I feel like there was even some clip that I saw on like, I don't know, an Instagram reel or something, where it was them in their podcast, and like the way she said it was like, yeah, I'm not allowed to, or something, he's like, she wants to, but this isn't cool. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. The one sister was talking and she goes, well, I like to have you with me. She's like,
I'd love to be there.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah. That was, so that was shocking. And hey, Good for them. We've talked about it. May not be for us. We weren't fans of it specifically, but we're not the target audience. And we talked about it during the Rumble on Toonie Talk on the watch along. How many women have you heard say, I got into this initially because of Total Bellas or Total Divas?
You know what's
Even
funny?
if it makes you want to check it out. What's up?
I like them too.
Together, honestly,
it's weird. Them two together
right.
make a good combination. It's entertaining. It makes me chuckle, and they do good work.
Yeah, I'll
They're
give
not
you
bad.
Right. No, and I think the biggest problem with Nikki on her own was on her own. You're right. Yes. I give you that. They were always a duo. And say what you will about them, but with what they've brought into the company and done for the business, they deserve to be able to have a tag team championship reign under their belt. You know what I mean?
Together,
even if it's
together,
not,
they are awesome, dude. But they're really good.
The Twin Magic stuff initially, when they were first doing it, was good stuff on SmackDown back in the day. And when it ended, when they were getting pulled off the side, that was fun. It is what it is. But you're right.
You kind of think I wouldn't like it, but I really did. I really did. I don't mind it because
give you that. I didn't mind it.
Yeah. When you see the singles match, you could just tell something was off.
Right. Yeah. And for them to they were always together. They've been together since they shared a womb, for God's sake. No, you're right. That is cool.
A womb at the Hilton.
But hey. And then I guess the only other surprise was that we didn't get Bianca. And man, does she just need to cut the hand off and come back with a hook? I feel like with one hand of Bianca, she'll still be all right. I'm kidding. I
leads me to believe there's no medical clearance, but again,
yeah, you would think. You would think. I don't know. It's just she was the one return I was expecting to happen, and I mean Tiffany too, but that wasn't so much of a return. It was just an easy way to inject her back into storylines. I was surprised that we did not get Bianca, but we did not. So then, you get down to the last bits there where NXT got their moments. I saw somebody quote earlier in the chat, and I didn't want to pop it there, but they were like, the Soul Snatcher to JC Jane was great. They really did well. They really NXT JC was another one where they had her doing stuff with Fatal Influence behind the scenes, but then Fatal Influence comes out and she's not with them. Of course, you know what I mean? It's perfect.
I love JC obviously, but after seeing her, she does a real good job in the Rumble. I think she's best in NXT for quite a little bit yet.
She's very much Ethan Page in that sense. You're right.
Yeah.
She is. In that sense of where that's where they belong. You know what I mean?
I don't want to see her get lost in the main roster.
Maybe someday at some point there would be cool, and there's no time. There's no time. It's like there's a rush, she doesn't have to go anywhere. And people act like they don't make a lot of money in NXT.
They do well.
That's a base salary. Exactly. You do well. You also don't have to pay for your travel and other things with it. You get to be home all the time. There's a lot of different stuff with it. Yes. Also, yes, hit the like button and subscribe. Leave a comment. We want to hang out. This was fun though.
There's some people that are just good NXT people. I mean, they have to have talent there. They don't need to go up, and they're perfect where they are. So fuck it. Keep it.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, that for sure. And then again, Lash eliminating both Bellas. Damn, they really are. Again, this is showing that response to you're willing to take the coaching, you're willing to actually do that. That's cool. That's, you know what I mean? Clearly they've got a lot of faith in Lash, and which is great. And also, they got a lot of faith in Trick, and they're together. There's a party that's gonna be like, oh, that's cute, that's cool, good for them.
No, it's cool because you get to travel with your wife.
Yeah,
and you can also talk about the night's matches with each other.
Yeah,
how did I look? Well, you did a little something wrong here. Sean said maybe to do this here, something that she might not have picked up, that Trick picked up, or vice versa.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, no, that's cool. I'm happy for him. But yet again, I kept grabbing, as pictures of them, she really did eliminate everybody and their mom. Damn, good for her. And that's kind of that moment where, she doesn't have to be in that final 4, final 3 spot or whatever, but she gets the most eliminations, the old Kane spot with it. And that's cool. Good for her. But your final 3 was Liv, Tiffany, and Sol Ruka, which was big for Soul. This is
huge.
Cool. Yeah,
huge.
And again, you talked about it. We've talked about it plenty of times, but you were the first one to mention it that I remember was like when they announced her as she was the one female that was getting into the Saturday night's main event. You know, they had Javon and Leon Slater in a tag match. They had other, she was on there for a reason. Like there's other people they believe in and do well, like Lola in AAA, but obviously like Soul again with the NIL stuff. She was some sort of gymnast or something. I forget what it's some sort of weird sport, but that's what she did. And she's great. And there was never a spot where she looked like she was lost or it was too big for her. She looked great with it. And
she has just the right amount of size to her too. She's not overly tall. It's hard to describe. She's the perfect woman's short. Wrestler size.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. No, you're right. She's and there's just something about her that just you can't like. She's so damn likable. Which I was saying, I was hoping she was going to get a heel run and turn on Zarya, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe it can happen one day eventually, but maybe she's just too baby. But just have her go up there and be a super baby face for a good long time. This was fun though too. We had all three of them doing this part here.
That got a little outdone as the night went on.
It does, but I mean that's
they all
the
do
rumble.
it.
Exactly. I mean, it's one of those things like it is what it is. You are where you are, you know. And it made sense to have. And that's the thing is when it came down to the final three, it's like, all right, well, either Liv or Tiffany is winning this one, and really the whole time leading up to this and going into it, Liv seemed like the one to win it. It made the most sense. Obviously, other ladies could have won it for sure.
Would it bother you if Sol Ruka won?
Would it have bothered me? No.
Would it have bothered? I mean, would it have made sense to you if she won?
No, because it would have been too soon for her career. Like she doesn't need it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no need to push for
that's what I was
that
kind
right
of thinking
now.
too. So.
Yeah. That's that. I even think like people were saying that for like Braun Baker maybe, but people were saying it for Obafemi too. I'm like, no, like I get it where it's like, oh, you want to make somebody that's great, but like it's too soon to be putting him in a WrestleMania event because then you have nowhere to fall back to. Like you need to grow.
Don't go too fast.
Yeah, there's no rush. It's not like it's one thing if like everything sucked and the shows were terrible and you were like you knew who was going to win you know what I mean? There's a big difference in where like under Vince and that sort of stuff. And I feel like that's something too where people sometimes just get stuck with the old ways with it. And
if you're coming off a SmackDown that just did 600,000 people watching it on TV on USA, you're going to be in panic mode. You're going to do it.
And everybody is just like, and you see how the show drops, like it started at 1 million. And by that last half hour, you're down to fucking 400,000 because nobody cares about what's going on in the main event scene. Then yes. Okay. You've got to but they're bringing people up. There's stuff getting involved. I mean, as we'll see when we get into the men's rumble, especially with the people that have been for sure brought up, there's a lot of stories being built for everybody. And there's a lot of great stuff coming in. So
we've been talking, when we do our NXT reviews, we always talk about where they're going to go. Yeah. Well, they're going up now because a lot of the main guys are going away.
Exactly. Right. As we're good with it. But it's also one of those
going, Jake.
Cycle going. Right. But then it's one of those things where, like you just said, with where you're going to go, like if you put somebody in the Royal Rumble or in the WrestleMania main event this early in their career, then where are they going to go afterwards? You know what I mean? Like there's only so high you can go with it. But I got some chats I wanted to get into really quick here. We don't have super chats yet, so I'm trying to start with it, but we're getting closer, guys, with it. But so then we're gonna get into the this is the first one. AJ's retirement for sure. And then we had somebody who was Dunn did what now? George and Jake, confirmed listeners of the Nikki and Pre podcast. I've seen the clip of it for sure, but I have not seen much of the show. I don't watch many
I may or have may not tuned in once in a while.
I mean, it's just like the Stephanie one with certain interviews. It's the interviewee for sure. But I mean, Denise, I was gonna say we're not the target audience, but Denise is. This is a good prediction from Mike Glass. I like that. You're probably, now that this is said out loud, you're probably right. I don't know. I think
there's nothing wrong with it either.
Right. I was gonna say I'm probably not. I'm not opposed to that. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good question. What's Danielson get into now? I mean, I think he just has to be like, the wife can do what the wife wants. We're not tied.
She's getting a paycheck.
And
why would you say anything bad?
Right. It's not like she's been on AEW TV as a character. Like she was shown in the crowd during his match once and backstage in pictures on social media. Like Yeah, no, that's not much. Oh, I did watch. Yeah, AAA. They were on this because AAA films either 3 or 4 shows at once. So there was like Mr. Iguana and was also in La Parca. I mean, was on AAA as well. No, it was a fun women's Royal Rumble. I enjoyed it. I thought it was set up very well. And then we're setting up for some fun, a fun road to Royal Rumble season. Oh, nice. We got
WrestleMania season.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right. WrestleMania. Sorry, I was Honor Sharp coming in. Regina's here. Mike Glass greeting everybody when they come in. I really appreciate that, Mike. I try to keep an eye on stuff, but he's gonna divorce her and marry Tony. And we're gonna see it live on X with a drunken Tony. But yeah, that gets us into the AJ.
Oh, by the way, that was my winner of the picks.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you
Double A. If Double A is listening or listening later, just leave me a note in the comments and I'll get a hold of you.
I'm fairly certain he's one of our European listeners because he's
yes.
Yeah, because he's an Arsenal fan. I got to give him credit too, though, because before he won and before he sent in a super chat to appreciate me being on Toonie Town and Toonie Talk. I was really, I was appreciative of that because he easily could have been like, "Hey, this new guy sucks. Why'd you bring him on?" And so it was one of those moments where you're like, "All right, cool, thank you. I feel good about what we're doing." Because that's the other thing too is I get to be me and I get to be myself. I don't want to like if I had to change, I'd play a character that kind of suck. So shout out to
23 likes for the live show right now. So 2 more people hit the like button. If you're listening over on X, come on over to the YouTube channel, please. It's youtube.com/AltJakeTakesOn. Come on by, join the chat, have some fun.
Yeah, no, we got looks like we have 24 watching live on YouTube right now, which is, I mean, either a high or pretty close to it for live in the moment. That's awesome, man. Thanks everybody. We really appreciate it. Been fun to be a part of this growth. But yeah, this AJ Styles thing, it's one of those situations where initially when it was coming out, you're like, no, that's not going to happen. He's not going to retire yet. And as it gets closer to it, you're like, well, I mean, he gets to do like the starting at a Royal Rumble, ending at a Royal Rumble. The only part of it that's a little strange to me is the retirement in Saudi, but also like maybe he just doesn't care that much about the retirement match. Like, you know what I mean? Not everybody needs to have that like greatest last match because his whole thing is he wants to go out where you still remember him as he was, which I respect because, you know, you want to love Ric Flair. Yeah. I mean, that's even why when we covered the Shawn Michaels Undertaker match at WrestleMania 26 and like, that's his last match. Cause I don't want to remember bald Shawn not hitting moves. You know what I mean? Like you want to remember your guys as your guys, you know, that's so many people like, Taker one more. I'm like, no, stay away. Like we don't want to see 50-year-old you. We want to see you wrestle. You know what I mean? Like your body can't take those bumps. Plus, that's the other thing too. When a person's got 20 to 30 years of bumps on their bump card, I don't want to see you take any more if you don't want to. And Triple H said it in the post show. You know, you're just because you can still do it physically, it's your heart. You know, we've seen that in other sports where guys just go like, my heart's not in it anymore. I'm retiring. It's usually like in boxing where, what was it, like Sugar Ray Leonard was still like pretty good. And then in his last fight, he was like, and he's like, you know, I just don't have the desire. I don't feel like I want to do this anymore.
Yeah. There's been a few athletes that have retired when you wouldn't think they would. Andrew Luck, Barry Sanders. I was just going to say him. That. Yeah. Oh, Barry Sanders still is the craziest one, but also too, like how many more years do you want to run behind that offensive line and have to run more horizontally than forward? But, I mean, this was good. Like I enjoyed the match and but as it was going, as we were watching it live, I'm like, it does kind of feel like he's going to retire. Now it's crazy because he kept saying WWE career on TV, but this was more of like his whole career. I just feel like there's a chance of doing something in TNA to help them out. And because he wants to, like I said, SmackDown is the house that AJ Styles built, but TNA is the house that built AJ Styles. So I could see him wanting to do something there. Plus it's smaller crowds, you know, you don't have to do as much. You could probably, you know, tag team with Leon Slater or something. I don't know now. I was convinced of it leading up to this, but as we've gotten into it, I'm like, well, yeah, shit. I don't know. I made the mention yesterday. I'm like, he maybe just retires because he said he was going to retire at 50 and he's not 50 yet. Yeah, no, and you and Kumi are a great. You and Kumi is he's 48 or 49. Like, yeah, no, he's older, and it's one of those things too where, you know, like we talked about where he wants to retire when people can remember that. We've also seen too where athletes are like
doing great, and then nope, like your body just all of a sudden it's like, oh, he still looks like he did when he was 30, and now it's like, oh, now he looks like he's 60 out there. You don't see
here's the other thing though, is nowadays 50-year-olds like AJ, he call him 50, just call him 50.
Yeah, right.
He's 50. Yeah. He's in great shape, looks great. Now 50 years old back in the 70s look like he were 90.
Right.
Times have changed, and 50-year-olds look, it's different. It's just different.
Yeah, you see those pictures of Dick the Bruiser at 33, and he looks like he's 64. Yeah, dude, you're totally right.
I'm 60, and you see me. Do I look 60?
No, not at all. And you don't act it either with it, which I think is part of it too. Some of those guys acted like they were the old. Yeah. No. Yeah. Was it like it's like the Arn Anderson para, where it's like Arn Anderson has always looked like he was 35 until he hit 35, and he looked like he was 55. But I mean, it's a different lifestyle. It's a different way about it. But yeah, I mean, I totally get where AJ's, because that's also the thing too, is yes, AJ can evolve. He has evolved his style. He's not nearly as flying as he was, but he can still do the phenomenal forearm. And, I mean, he hit the he hit a power bomb with him, but
so I'm sorry, Jake.
You're good. No,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I did watch, when I watched this back, I realized where he cut his arm.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
When he went through the table, like the second time through, he caught some equipment or something and gashed his arm bad.
I know, and it's one of those things, I didn't notice it until you said it, and then I couldn't not notice it with it because of I mean, that's why you move the equipment.
They didn't move any stuff out of the way, and when he went through the big the top portion of the table, he caught his arm there, and it went in pretty deep.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm with you. But yeah, no, you got to. He locks in the sleeper, and you're like, and then he taps out. And I mean,
that was the reaction of many people right there.
Yeah. I don't know what to think about. I mean, I don't know what to believe. I just don't know if he's going to go. I mean, even we'll show it in a second, but he refused to, he tried to take the gloves off and put them back on. Like, well, maybe that's where
well, the tradition is the boots, not the gloves.
I know, but he was always the gloves.
Like, I know, but
so
I'm picking up a technicality. That's all.
Yeah, I get you. No, I get you.
25 likes, by the way. Thank you.
Yes, nice. 25 live likes. That's definitely a brand new record. That is awesome. That's kind of fun to set different records as we go along. We've been doing that more often with our videos. That's been a lot of fun. And to thank everybody here, we'll give you the like Michael Cole and Wade Barrett gave, we got the we appreciate that. Seriously, it's really does that just play on its own?
No, it's me.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought maybe it looped. I'm like, oh shit, did I hit the wrong button? We're still figuring out the technology.
No, I did that on purpose. I did it on purpose.
Yes, you got me. That was good. No, because I was like, oh shit, what did I do? Because that's, I always say my mom's Jewish, or my mom's Catholic, my dad's Jewish, and I'm just guilty. No matter, always. Oh, what did I do? I feel bad. But yeah, he almost put the gloves off, and then he puts them back. And I mean, if anything, it would be obviously TNA. Like, there's no, you know what I mean? Like, that would just make the most sense. But I mean, you never know. You don't know what's going to happen with it. There's no chance. And I've seen people throwing this around, which is just hilarious. Yeah, no, exactly. That I literally the title of that picture is LMFAO. Like, just nope, we're not.
I gotta be honest though. If it does happen, I may just quit.
Just in all of it, just anyway, just
be done with it. It's like, I can't believe you did
well,
but they were getting. If there's one guy that can actually get a ratings boost for Dynamite, it would be him.
Right, until Tony gets
the booking takes over. Exactly.
Yeah, right. Now, yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, I would want to see him and Will Ospreay. Yes, that would be fun, and I'm sure there's other ones too. That's Ospreay is the big one everybody keeps saying. But my problem with Ospreay still, and I feel like AJ would be like, hey, you don't have to do every single move in the match with it. But yeah, again, what story is going to be told? What's he gonna do? Like, the Bucks have already reverted back to 2000 whatever it was. Do we really want to see AJ doing that too? Like, the greatest thing about AJ in WWE is that he's been able to evolve his career and become, this this thing we never thought we would see is AJ Styles being a great WWE superstar. Like, yeah, he had to change his character a bit, but it was awesome.
Yep.
Like, you know, like
I don't think, Honor Sharp, that he would go to be the NXT general manager, because I have a prediction for the new NXT general manager.
You do, and I don't, and he didn't. The thing about that is I feel like that would be pretty quick.
Stretch.
Yeah, and it would kind of push over. But I mean, Triple H did say some nice things about the way he kind of leads himself with it. But I also just don't think, like, here's the thing. If he's wanting to retire and go back to like spending time with his family, like unless they live in Orlando, which I don't believe they do, I don't think he would want to do anything like that with it. I mean, that's where I said like TNA maybe, but I mean, it could just be, you know, I don't know. But it was a good match with it. It makes it. And since you don't know or whatever with it, having it be against Gunther, I mean, this is a good pathway for Gunther for sure. Like
before the match started, we were kind of wondering how this was going to play out, because Gunther has to win. I mean, the storylines are there.
Right.
And the only other thing we could think of was maybe there'd be some kind of interference, but then,
no, you're
really out of it. So.
This is a good comment from Dundon. What, gloves in the ring or not? The emotion was very real on the face of AJ. I'll give you that. Thank you, Mike. I was going to assume that he lived in Georgia, but you know, assume, ask you, me, that kind of thing. I didn't, but I figured that made sense, especially since like his wife's a school teacher and stuff. He's always been more about her than for that part of it. That's why he didn't sign with WWE out of WCW, because he wouldn't have had to move to Cincinnati or something with it. So, but this is that moment too where you had like, you know, you're taking the crowd down a notch, and then you're getting right into Drew and Sammy, which was going to take the crowd down a notch, but this wasn't the Sammy and Saudi as Sammy and Saudi before either. You know what I mean? Just like the Saudi crowd wasn't the normal, like they cared and they were into him for sure. But I mean, I feel like before, Saudi was on the level to or right up there with Montreal with Sammy. After seeing Sammy in Montreal last weekend and Sammy and Saudi this weekend, not even close.
I can't make that comparison because of the sound.
Yeah, that's a valid point.
They see when he came out, the place looked like they were going bonkers. But then I watch it back, it didn't sound like they went bonkers.
Yeah,
but the sound just leaves.
Yeah, the sound literally it never came back. Like it didn't even have a chance to come back. Like that's why, you know, Stone Cold. Obviously CM Punk does, but Stone Cold always talks about the Rosemont Horizon was his favorite building because the roof was wood. So the way it bounced down was different than any other building or whatever with it. Cause that's what mattered. Yeah. That's why people talk about like with WrestleManias or whatever, when they're in the football stadiums, like what is it? Like the one in Dallas, the one here in Arizona, where it's got like a little opening, but there's still like mostly a roof. Like the sound can come back down and you get some, but it's still not as good. And that's why arenas will always sound better than, you know, football stadiums. But
especially this place though. This place
this had nothing. This was
just went
this
up
was as
and
open air as you get.
And then it was open air in the corners.
Yeah, no, this was almost as bad as the high school stadium. You know what I mean? Close. Where like the sound just left.
I would agree.
Yeah, like maybe an expensive high school stadium, but still just straight out. No, that's why even when I was at Dynamite a couple weeks ago, the sound the sound wasn't great no matter what. I was there and it was bad. But because that place has 5 levels and a giant high ceiling, it just went up and never came back. And so it just dies. Yeah, no, when I rewatched it, because there's a specific debut that people have been talking about, we'll get to for sure. I wanted to go back and watch it because I'm like, was there no reaction? Yeah, but it was, I mean, and you're right. The crowd definitely looked like they were going, and they probably were, but yeah, the sound just wasn't.
Yeah,
but people are trying to say, I was just gonna say, yeah, and I don't think that obviously before Mania they're going to do much different. I don't know what their plan is for Mania yet, but I would assume they're probably going to do this. Yeah, right. We know what it's not going to be. Valid,
this was obviously. Friend. I mean, you could tell. There's check that off the list. Don't do that. Turn those stupid lights off. Don't do that.
Yeah, we know what it's not gonna be. Wow, that's funny. That was a good line. I like that. That was good. No, that's good. And I mean the match was fine. The match was fun. I feel like this was mostly what I expected to be of Sammy just doing his best that he could. But I felt like they kind of just gave him a lot early where they really gave him a lot where you look like Sammy was going to be like massive with it, but although
Drew gave him a lot.
He did. And that was kind of where they were going, because that was the storyline was, Sammy has not beaten Drew ever. It was a 0 for 11, but he's also never lost in Saudi. And this was his big moment. But like I said from the beginning, back, what was it, last week when we were talking about when he won, like, of course he was going to win. A, it was in Montreal. B, Drew needed a title defense. This looks like a big match, kind of feels like one, but it's not. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not. And that's why it was what it was. Now, it wasn't bad. It wasn't like there was anything wrong with it, but you're kind of, especially at this point, you're kind of just waiting for the men's rumble with it. But he did put Sammy to the table on the outside.
Once we saw that Saturday night's main event and Saudi were so close together, 2 + 2 = 4. I mean,
right. Geez. Yeah. Right. And it's one of those things that it's easy enough for the story, and you don't really have to, it's the Royal Rumble, and you have 2 Royal Rumbles. Like, that's the focus of the show. That's what sold the show. That's what people are going to see. You have to have some filler within it. And that's why this match, again, looks like a big match. And then, AJ's it was, because it was his career, and it's AJ and Gunther. But I mean, when you look back at the Royal Rumbles, back when you would have DVDs and buy them, you're not buying the DVD for the other matches on the card.
You're watching the Rumbles.
Exactly. Yeah. But, Drew gets him with the Claymore, and Drew gets the W. And of course he did. Yeah. You know what I mean? Which was fine.
That's what should have happened. Exactly.
Yeah. But,
I'm sorry.
But this is good. But I know, like, Dis with Kevin, when we were talking to the beginning, he's like, they're going to be so down about it. And I'm like, to a point, but I don't think they're going to be that upset about it. It's like they're going to like leave and be, I'm not going to watch the Rumble.
Yeah, you get down because your guy lost in the Rumbles next.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm back in again. I'm fine.
Yeah, right, exactly. And it's one of those things too, with this crowd was not that same Saudi crowd as previously. It's just they were good. I mean, they cared about him. I mean, they gave a shit, but it wasn't nearly what it used to be within it. But yeah, I mean, that was the Sammy and Drew match. So it was fine. What you expected for it, for sure. Oh yeah, was it Young Bucks are bringing back the Generation Me gimmick? Oh God, I forgot about that being called Generation Me. You and Cuba. Oops. Even Saudi Arabia is tired of Sammy. Well, because again, it's the reason I'm not. The thing about Sammy, and it is true with him, where there's just not that much, like, what's different so much between Sammy right now and then like Sammy when he was facing Roman, like, when he's facing Roman, or like after him and Kevin Owens' team broke up or whatever. Like, he hasn't evolved much. And I know it's because it works well enough, but there's got to be some evolution. That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, and you can't really evolutionize anymore because so he almost has to turn heel, honestly. But yeah, so care to tell people where they can find us?
I was just gonna say, might as well get some plugs in before we're at the
26 likes. Thank you all. Thank you.
Nice. Yeah, and we've had 24 live concurrent viewers at the same time. Over 106 people have tuned in.
For anybody making fun of me for saying 25 likes is a lot, this is called small growth, folks. Thank you.
Yeah, no,
Thank you,
see that a lot from people. I get that from people as their response to me on Twitter, like, oh, nobody watches your YouTube channel. I'm like, first off, where's your fucking YouTube channel, dick face? And second off,
wow.
We'll just get that. That's a good, it's a good line. I like the dick face line. You got to throw a dick face every night. It's dick face or eat a bag of dicks. Those are my two that I like to go for. But no, it's just, first, if you had a channel, like, I don't know if like, I don't know if somebody like if JD from NY comes at me with it, hey, you've got a point. You got a big channel. That's fine. But for somebody who isn't putting out content, and it's not like we're doing this with the sole goal of being a big channel and growing with it. We're doing it because we're having fun with it. And as we've seen growth, it's been motivating. But also when the videos got over like 200 views, I'm sorry, if you were hanging out somewhere talking and 200 people were watching you, that actually is a lot. So kiss my ass. It's just funny because that's they don't have a defense. It's just think like name calling. Think about
if you're out tonight with your guy. You're just talking at the bar,
right?
And 26 other people are sitting there listening to what you're saying.
Right?
That's
Seriously.
kind of a big deal. It's not huge.
And it's fun.
It's something cool.
And that's the thing too, is we're having fun with it. It's not like we're trying to do it for anything more than just having fun. Like I said, we're not putting on a gimmick. We're not trying to do like the wacky news radio guys with the alarms and
welcome to the morning zoo.
Yeah, thank you. I couldn't think of a funny name. It was the morning zoo. Is like, what is it, like Dingo and the baby? Yeah, that's terrible with it. We are the Jake Takes On YouTube channel, youtube.com/@AltJakeTakesOn for anybody listening to us over on X. Come over and subscribe. We're here every Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the AEW Dynamite live review, where we watch the show so you don't have to. We give you every segment, every interview, every match, all, even if it's got 2 commercial breaks and 37 kickouts, we're going to watch it all so you guys don't have to, but still can be a lot
more fun than you think it would be.
I was going to say, we make it fun. We crack jokes about it. If we like stuff, like I said it a bunch of times, MJF versus Bandito, great match, went a little too long, but overall I enjoyed that match a lot.
We liked last week's show.
Yeah, it was the best one we've seen yet of the 19 we've done. Not that that's great, but hey, it's better than they've done.
Yeah, and the fact they must have liked it too, because when those ratings came out, they posted them the very next day.
They'll show you right when the ratings go up. That's for sure. Yeah, when the ratings are good, everybody knows. When they're not, where are they? What ratings? I've never seen ratings. What's a rating? Also, if Tony Khan goes live to promote the show, we will give you that and review those for you. And George just tells me about them. I bookmark them and don't watch any of it. And we watch it live with you or live react with you. And then we're back here every Sunday for this show at Sunday Night Spaces, 8:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the conversation show like this, where we'll review a big show if there's something to review, or if there's big news or something fun to talk about, or sometimes we'll have guests. You can also catch me every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern for Toonie Talk Wrestling on youtube.com/@ToonWrestling, where myself and Dis, aka he's Akadis, aka AEW Disciplinary Committee, and Awful Wrestling, and sometimes other guests as well. Marv and Kevin will try to pop in when they can, but they both have like 12 jobs. So, but we review whatever we want to talk about anymore. It seems to be most of, that's Dave for you and Tony Khan and any other news. But those are the 3 live shows every week. And then George and I also try to do a recorded podcast every week or other week, but we can knock it out where we try to review Raw, NXT, anything else that we want to talk about. All of that's here on YouTube. And then everything is also on all of audio podcast platforms. Everything that we record from the YouTube channel is on our podcast platform, and I know Dis is working on putting out all of the Toonie Talk stuff on podcast platforms there as well. So 3 different live shows a week and 1 recorded show a week. So we try to have a lot of fun. That's why we say, just subscribe is the easiest way to support the channel. If you have the money and can donate, there's a QR code in the top corner there to the Cash App, or there's donation options in the description. If you want to donate to help us out so we can continue to do this, great. If you can't, don't worry about it at all. Just subscribe, share with a friend or two, even if even if they're only like kind of into wrestling. I was out in public today and somebody had their phone out and I literally heard the noise from the Royal Rumble. I'm like, are you watching the Rumble? Talked to them about it for a minute, said I had a channel, and he's like, hey, what's your channel? I'll subscribe. And what was cool about the kid was, and Juan, if you're listening, I appreciate what you said, because you're like, yeah, you're 48 away from 500. He's like, yeah, but really you're 500 away from 1,000. And that's like it's the trying to get growth. It was just a good way of looking at it. So I'm excited to keep moving forward with it and continue the channel. And that's, we're getting into the WrestleMania season. So it's even that time where people, if you're casual with it, but you want to get someone informed, we'll give you our thoughts and opinions as people who watch it every week and try to look at it at least a bit differently than other folks. And we're not just going to scream at you like some channels or other channels where they'd be like, oh, well, yeah, it was okay, but here's the 3 things that were bad. Well, what about the 5 things that were good? So that's who we are and what we're about. Come hang out.
If you subscribe and you're from South Korea, please let me know in the comment section. This is a big thing for me.
We're trying to George's gonna get one of those maps with the pins where you could pin him in the map.
So I got that going. That's my personal.
No, I like it. No, I have the geolocations on for. I can only see it from our audio through Spreaker for our podcast, but for all platforms, we've got Brazil, India. I think we've covered I think we've covered the 6 main continents. Yeah, because we got Brazil, we've got India. We've got, I don't know if we have Africa yet. I think we have to get somewhere in Africa. All right. But speaking of Africa, Royal Rumble started with the Nigerian beast. I don't know what they're going to come, but having Oba start the Rumble, again, he made a lot of sense in that same kind of position as Lash Legend, where you're trying to show, like, here's a big star. We've got a lot of faith in him. He's going to eliminate a bunch of people, have a bunch of cool moments, but he's not winning the thing. And that's
people knew who he was. People knew who he was.
So that's a big thing. And that comes from Netflix, I would assume, is that more people in Saudi Arabia knew who Oba was and Trick was than anybody from AEW, as we'll get into.
Anybody from that or AAA for that matter.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Now, we did see in the Toonie Talk chat that they do have, because the WWE puts all that stuff on YouTube, it is available in Saudi Arabia with it. But yeah, NXT, Netflix, it just makes sense. Plus, I mean, if you're flipping through, like, all right, I'll turn on NXT, and you saw Javon Evans, Trick Williams, Oba Femi, well, I'm gonna watch this for a second. Hang on, who is this guy? But yeah, Oba comes out, and then you got Braun Breaker coming out, and this is like, oh, so what is this? The WrestleMania like 49 main event preview right here? Hell yeah, let's get into it. Awesome. And nope. Which this was kind of cool in that sense too, of this is how you get Braun out of it without him. This is not his fault. You know what I mean? He still looks strong in the sense he literally got blindsided, got attacked, and then thrown into the wolves with Oba Femi there. Like, this was awesome in that sense of it for Braun. You know what I mean? Plus, easy day of work for him. He gets to come out. Now, the question is who is the masked man? Obviously, they want you to think it's Seth Rollins. He attacks like Seth Rollins. I've seen a few different theories out there. Now, remember, you can see his hands, so it's definitely like not Montez Ford this time, you know, before the hands were covered. I've seen a few different theories. It's interesting to see. I'm curious to see where it goes. I've got one that I think that it might be, but I'm not sure. I don't know. Yeah.
Do tell.
All right. Well,
tell me.
I did know it. It's great. Like I said, because somebody actually put it online. I think it's Logan Paul. I thought it was Logan Paul right when it happened. He's skinny. Like, look at the guy. I mean, he's not as thick. Like, Seth feels thicker to me than that. You know what I mean? And Logan, the moment Heyman was, when they were on Raw and they were like, oh yeah, Logan was like, yeah, we're gonna make it Breaker. Yeah, it's gonna be Breaker. Yeah, we should do Break. I never felt like Logan would have said, I don't know. He just seemed like he needed to be talked into it more than he needed to be.
How did he react when he came into the Rumble? Did he just do his entrance normal?
He comes out like woo and coming out like he comes out his normal. I don't know. I was just surprised that somebody else put this up, because I was gonna, like, I wasn't, and I don't really think that circling the facial hair does anything. Like, come on, right? Like, this is a dumb. I just thought this was a fun way of putting it, and I could put it out there. But this is now. It also just it could be Seth and be easy and be done with it. You know what I mean? And that would make sense. Seth and Braun, that's a big match for Braun Breaker in WrestleMania. Braun Breaker goes over. Big WrestleMania moment. That'd be awesome. I could just see it also being Logan. Now, we'll see with it. I think it's fun. I've also seen people say Grayson Waller, which, because of the size. Because he's not, because I've also seen people saying it's Jake Paul. Like, isn't Jake Paul shorter and stouter? I thought Jake Paul was thicker.
Much bigger in the chest.
Right? Area. Yeah. Thank you. Look at Denisha coming in with that. Rumors Jake Paul. But if they say it's Jake Paul, that wasn't even close to Jake Paul there. Like, it's definitely not. His size.
It can be anybody it wants to be now. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But definitely
Dunn did what now? Yeah, no, I don't know. And like I said, it could be like if, like, let's say they think Seth's going to be healed February 26th, let's just say, right? If he's going to be healed then and they think he's ready for Mania, have it be Seth. It didn't have to be Seth, but you know what I mean? Yeah, it could easily be. There's plenty of options. I just think Logan is a good option because, well, that'd be a fun way of breaking up, you know, I don't know. It's interesting.
So everyone stays a heel, all right?
Yeah, I think Breaker might.
Because you really can't turn anybody babyface here.
I think you could turn Breaker babyface.
I don't
like
see that
as
yet.
A badass babyface. I think he could be. I don't think he needs to be anytime. Like, he comes out of it as it. He could do, because people already cheer for him anyway with the bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he could still. He doesn't have to change his. Jim Cornette always says it, and you hear other guys say it too, like, he's still the same guy. He's just doing it to baby faces and maybe not being as dirty with some of the stuff, but still be spirit because people already like the guy. He's physically charismatic. Logan Paul was a thought that I had not watching it live you're right. Like I did the same thing as you. I watched it again. I actually watched the men's first last night and then I watched the women's today. That when I watched it live, I was like, that's fucking Logan Paul. I don't know. I think it's cool though. It could be LA Knight. It could be
go back
LA
to the
Knight.
other photo though. Go back to the other photo.
Hang on. I put it out, but I can grab it. Give me 1 second.
Because there's one Logan Paul when he stands over a person, he kind of droops a little bit, and you can kind of see it. I'm leading in your theory. See his shoulders?
Yeah.
That's how he stands.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. No,
this could be way wrong, but that's just me looking at weird shit.
No, and that's like I said, I didn't catch it live at all. It was when I watched it the second time, I was like, And again, wherever they go with the storyline with that idea, there's options. It's fun. You
got Logan Paul versus everybody.
Right, exactly.
That's awesome.
Right, exactly. And like that's where like you could turn everybody else in the Vision babyface, maybe not Heyman, but you can't turn like Logan Paul stays a heel. Like, I don't know. That's a lot of fun options with it there. And it was the first thought I had when I watched it the second time.
First thought.
Yeah, exactly. It was
not outlandish where I'm sitting thinking no fucking way.
Right,
no.
Exactly. You're not. It's not
sense.
like because I've seen people saying, "Oh, it's Grayson Waller." Now that is stupid. Why would it be Grayson Waller? What has he ever done? Who has he ever beat? Who has he ever attacked? Why would he do any of that? That makes zero sense.
Be funny if they made it Grayson Waller.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if they really wanted to push him for whatever, but I mean, it's not
I wouldn't waste the.
Right, that'd just be stupid. Yeah, no, I feel like for me, Seth Rollins or Logan Paul makes a lot of sense. But either way, it was fun. LA Knight also could make sense because the Vision took him out.
Too
and
tall.
He ends up
too tall.
That's fair. That's fair. And I feel like he's thicker too. I feel like you're right. You're right. He's shorter. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know, but it was a fun. All I know was also too, like it got me up for the Rumble too when it happened in the moment we were live. I was kind of like drooping a bit. I was like, whoa. Okay, anything can happen here. Let's rock and roll. And then you kind of get Oba's moment where I saw somebody put up there that that Oba had a big moment during the show. Yeah, Oba Femi had its big moment. It was big just for him to be in there from number one and for as long as he was. But like literally, he was just murking people.
When you're the first person out for any Rumble whatsoever, that's huge.
Yes.
Because people always in the back of their mind think of number one going all the way through.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, even when Rhea came out with whatever her spot was in the 20s, you're like, yeah, but she's won it from number one. No, that's a big, big thing. And especially too with the men's Rumble, I feel like it's kind of like you're almost like they're showing that you're like the backbone of this Rumble. You're coming in from the beginning, as long as you're going to be in it for like as long as he was with it.
They trust you in the spot.
Yeah. And that's great for Oba, and I hope for the best for him. Like I said, I still thought he should have spent more time in NXT, but it ain't up to me. And if they got people that maybe they've stuck like a coach that's going to stick with him the whole time with it, I feel like they're smart enough they're not going to blow this one. You can't. They're one of those can't miss prospects. Just don't mess it up.
Yeah. Again, who did he wrestle on Saturday night's main event?
Who did he wrestle on Saturday night's main event? Oh, Cody. Duh. Yeah. Right. Cody. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And
that's it. Done.
And they had a couple of different things during this Rumble or during the Rumble with him here that you could go. Everybody who's got a good like career behind them and could be a ring. He's not going up against like, I don't know, Kit Wilson, or somebody where, yeah. But that was fun. No, this was good. But this Rusev came out and he knocked him out right away. Pretty much like that was a good one of like, oh, Rusev would work for a first feud because he doesn't need to have like long feuds too either. He's just, you've got to show who he is. You can't have him, jobbing to people obviously or losing to or facing anybody too big. So Rusev was a good one.
Something to do. We haven't seen him.
I was just going to say, when he came out, I was like, oh, good for him. I'm like, did he go back to Bulgaria? Anytime he's gone, I'm like, is he back in Bulgaria? What happened? I don't know. He leaves, he goes away with it. And then, Oba like gets 619 and then doesn't and gets right up from it and then just keeps. I mean, Solo's not a small guy, and
No.
Solo jumped a bit, but Oba just like you move here now. Oba's just he's a different monster, man. And that was like I said with Lash Legend, and with Oba and this, they knew what they were doing. They're having people shine, and man, he just murked Matt Cardona, nope. Sorry.
That was a slam and a half, too.
Yeah, and I'm sure Cardona was like, well, Cardona knew. He's like, look, I flew all this way. I'm getting this one moment. Lay it the fuck in, dude. Hit me with that. At least I would if I was him. Like,
oh, he's obviously he's a professional. He knows how to take the slam the right way because he's already set up for the fall right.
I was
going to
say, look at the arms. Perfect. Yeah, no, that's seriously, like if kids, you want to learn how to take the bump in school, that's a pretty good one. Javon Evans being at number 8 was great for him too. I was so glad he's not hurt, dude. When they that shoulder, see, and this is also why though, when he like tweaked his shoulder or whatever, they were like, nope, match is over. It's a raw match, doesn't matter. It's not a pay-per-view. We're not blowing off a feud. Because maybe he wasn't that hurt, but what if he went longer in that match and then he does hurt himself, or like he's like trying to not hurt his right shoulder, so he hurts his left or something with it. That's why people are like, oh, why'd they stop the match? This is why. So this kid can be in the Royal friggin' Rumble and literally just bounce all over that damn thing. You could see how happy this kid was. I always forget too, like he's from North Carolina. He's just like this generation's like Hardy Boys. You know what I mean? Like he grew up loving wrestling, loves what he's doing with it, and like you just can't not. I don't know. Every time I see the kid, it just puts a smile on my face. I'm like, this is what wrestling's about. You know, like this is why we're fans of it. Kid's fun.
He gets it. He definitely gets it.
Right. Yeah. And again, with him, you always forget too. Like with Oba, you know, everything he's done was from WWE, from the Performance Center on. But like Javon had a decent indie career. Like he was on an episode of AEW Dark or something, or maybe it was Dark Elevation, one of them with it. But oh yeah,
think about that for a minute.
Yeah,
you're 17, 18 years old, 19, whatever he was when he got signed.
Right.
Shawn Michaels takes you and teaches you at 19. Think about where your mind is at during that.
No,
I'm trying to think about how I would be if one of my hockey heroes would be like, "Hey, you want to come over here and skate with me, and I'll teach you some things." I'm like, "Oh shoot!"
My equivalent to me would have been if I went into wrestling at the time, and like Dusty, if you know what I mean. Like my age to Dusty is probably similar to Javon and Sean. You know what I mean? We're just like, "Come here, kid. We're gonna teach you how to do this. I believe in you." Like, yes, sir. Like, yeah. And then he's also got like Triple H believing it. Like, yeah, this kid. And again, that's why I was thinking like stay at NXT for one more year, do the return for the senior season storyline, go win everything in NXT and then come up. But they believe in him. They're going to make sure he's got the right head and his shoulders. Mm-hmm. It's also too like the younger generation now, like they've learned from all the documentaries and everything. Just like, they're not into going out and getting hammered and, you know,
no, it's different.
Doing all of the, what is it, like the drugging people's drinks and others. Like, they're not doing that nowadays. Like they're just like I know Undertaker talked about like, oh, they're playing video games. Like that's a good thing. They go back to the hotel and play Xbox and PlayStation versus going to the bar and, you know, biting off people's noses. Like this is good. Like it's cool.
Hey, I know you have a theory. You want to put up RG's question up there? I know you mentioned this during the RG where he says, "Were you guys surprised?"
Oh yeah,
because I know you had a thing with that with the women's, and you know the answer that we're looking for.
I mean,
they're really when you watch the show on NXT, you can kind of tell who was not. They weren't going to.
Yeah, and with having Javon Evans, having Oba, having Trick, like they all just came up from NXT. You had a couple of AAA guys, and NXT, it's really about this Tuesday coming up. Any of the stars are in that ladder match, and you need them there for that. So, so I wasn't surprised, but I wasn't, you know.
No, it wasn't going to be anybody go because they were on TV live on Tuesday.
And they're going to be TV live this Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah. But they weren't going to be going to Saudi and making that trip. That would have been rough.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's my glasses one. I was surprised almost wasn't in the Rumble. I definitely was surprised by that. Just because he's been, just because again, a big guy in a Rumble, there's fun moments with it. But
I don't think any of us mentioned him at all yesterday, did we?
We saw him in one of the video packages and he came up and somebody mentioned, where's he been? And I said, AAA. And that was lit. And no, there was no follow-up. There was no follow-up.
We never thought he was going to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, when I saw that, that was the only reason I assumed. It's funny too how like Cody, obviously, yes, he's definitely turning heel. There's stuff that happens in this match where you're like, it's happening sooner than later. But people still do love him. Like when his music stops, people keep singing it. That's but again, they also do sing heels music. That's part of it too. But even when Cody does turn, he'll still be over. Like he'll still be Cody. It'll be fun. But again, Cody and Obo, that was good to have that little callback with it. The comedy spot or fun moment of the show, though, was Americano 1 and Americano 2.
Did you miss Mr. Iguana come out?
Oh, I had him eliminated by Priest earlier.
Yeah, he came out. I watched this a second time through, and he came out, and there was
nothing
reaction.
Same with La Parca. La Parca comes out too, and it was just like crickets. Yep. No, the AAA guys were crickets, and that was where somebody in the chat on Toonie Talk said, like, yeah, it's on YouTube here, but
Double A said that.
Yeah, it was him. You're right. It was Abdul. No, that makes sense. But this was the fun spot of the show. Good to see Chad Gable back. Obviously, this was how to bring him back. Like you knew Gable would. I heard he was cleared like 3 to 5 weeks ago, if not longer. But they were going to bring him back in the Rumble. And when I heard that, I'm like, oh, so you have Americano 1 come out at 12 and Americano 2 come out at 13. Like you just knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, at least he decided to maybe take his physical fitness seriously on this time off.
I mean, Gable
Jesus Christ.
Gable's got like negative body fat. Like he's like whatever the lowest you can be and still be healthy. Yeah, Gable's insane.
Dude,
like,
I normally don't care for the tanning aspect of it, but geez, perfectly tanned, not too dark.
Yeah.
Solid muscle. Impressive.
Yeah, no, Gable's, and it's good to have him back. He's a great hand, and yeah, he's good. Cody and Trick, they were having little moments. Maybe they can have a feud coming up soon. I like Trick Williams, like almost Tiger Woods TW that he's got in the logo. That's pretty smooth. Then you had the Americanos and Americano. I liked that they were going feuding back, but they had the little Spider-Man moment, but then they were feuding. And then Trick just gets them both out. Like that was a good moment for Trick. Yeah. And then out he goes, which this was what I wanted to say about Cody. I'm not 100% positive. I didn't realize it until, again, watching it the second time, and I didn't go back to watch the third time. But I felt like he only eliminated baby faces and Trick, I know he's a heel right now, but he's not. Like, people love Trick Willie. You know what I mean? Like, which I feel like was maybe not like Cody's turning super soon, but I felt like that was foreshadowing to a point. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be crazy.
I don't remember specifically.
Yeah,
but
I don't either until I got later in the show. And then I saw a couple of eliminations in the picture. Like I didn't have time to go back and watch it a third time, but I noticed it at some point in the second, like some point later in the Rumble watching this. I'm like, he's eliminated like 3 baby faces.
See, I probably would let that pass just because it's the Rumble.
Yeah, but it's a small thing where
I know,
maybe
I know what you're saying exactly.
Yeah, it caught my eye. I was like, yeah, I liked it. But then I guess the big surprise of the Rumble, especially how they put it up first, was Powerhouse Hobbs,
and then
breaks
weird.
the wall down, and then it says Royce Keys. Now
and nobody cared.
I wouldn't say no.
It was even listening to the second time through. It was a small group of 120 people. I figured it out. It's the same people that were chanting the bunch of shit at Triple H in the post show. Those same people that cheered for this were those people there. That's true.
The exact same group. It's not a big crowd. They're just very vocal.
That's true.
Right? Like it's the same people. Like, it's it. It wasn't a lot. Now, it was cool to see, but this is where you're like, you were saying it too, like, this is weird to do it for there. And I feel like this was less for that and more for him and for the worldwide audience of showing him here with it. It was surprising. And for anybody who's not sure what this is Powerhouse Hobbs, which also the kid that I met today and we're watching the Rumble, I was saying this was the big surprise. And he's like, I think he's seen like 2 episodes of AEW. He did watch Hobbs come out. He's like, oh, he's a big dude. Like the power. I like the spine buster that he nailed. Like that was cool. But it was
Royce Keys is a very interesting choice for a name.
So do you know? I figure I have. So I learned all of it. So right when it came out, people looked it up, and Royce is his kid's name. His son's name is Royce. his mother's maiden last name is Keys.
Nah, it works.
Right. So when I heard that, I'm like, okay, I can live with that. Like, it's not the best name, but also too, like, it's not like anymore where the name matters as much. Plus, look at him. He's a big boy.
Well, it's like if you have a kid and you have your passcode, you put your passcode, your kid's first name, and okay,
Right,
I get it.
yeah.
Good.
The kids, and when I first heard it was his son's name, I was like, that's fine. And then when I heard I'm like, okay, and especially with the life that he's led with his brother and his family and all the bullshit he's gone through, fine. Plus, I mean, I'm happy for the guy because, like, for him to make it out of what he made it out of, say what you want, love AEW all you want for whoever does. They don't book big dudes well. He has been booked like shit his entire. There was that point in Team Taz where it worked and then it didn't. And then there was a point where it didn't. And there was somewhere it worked and it didn't with him. It's never worked.
Wardlow.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. And Lance Archer. There's a million of them. I'm just thinking of just for him. The Book of Hobbs stuff was cool. Like, Mark Henry was there trying to get him pushed and it wouldn't work. Yeah. Yeah. No. Which he pays tribute to. At one point, he did the World's Strongest Slam as a tribute to Mark. Because Mark Henry is, it's his advocate. And good for him, man. I'm pumped for the guy. But literally, I think, like, maybe 3 minutes before he came out, I was saying how no chance he's going to debut on Tuesday and help Ricky. And maybe he still shows up at NXT and throws somebody off a ladder or whatever. But I was like, well, I was wrong. Whoops. But again, I can admit when I'm wrong. There are other channels who just double down on their things. Was funny.
I liked it, but I would have liked to have seen it on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
But it is what it is. And it's also one of those things, too, where it is a cool internet moment. And for all their talk about how they don't care about the internet, you do to some level. They don't care nearly as much as, somebody making 7 different burner accounts. But they were happy about it. That was fun. And, I mean, that's why they had the Powerhouse Hobbs come out and say no. I also thought it was fun that Michael Cole was, like, really pumped about it. That was cool. It was fun.
I just didn't understand why we saw the Powerhouse Hobbs graphic and then we switched over.
I mean, yeah, like,
it was a weird. We all mentioned it when it happened live. We're like, that's odd.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense to me. It did. Oh, Mike is right about that. He is good friends with Punk. That is very true. I forgot about that. No, I didn't. Because, I mean, I get the idea of, like, this is who he was, this is who he is, but we've talked about it a billion times. Yeah, we know who is going on with AEW, but like I said, the kid I met today who went to at least 1 or 2 of the most recent WWE shows in the Phoenix area, like, is a fan, just hasn't gotten the ESPN stuff because didn't want to pay for that, but was watching it however he was watching. But, had no clue who this guy was, doesn't watch AEW, knows about it. Yeah, and that's 90% of the crowd. Like,
I've said that. I've told you that before.
True. Yeah.
Just dealing with my son's a big fan. He doesn't watch AEW in the least bit. No idea they even exist. So if you mention like Powerhouse, he had no idea who he was either.
Yeah. Power what? Well, Power Hoop what? Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Because it just doesn't. It's not the same thing. It's not. Yeah. And like I said, it matters for us. That's where I remember when he was first talking about being released, like Awful was like, he's been jobbed out. He's been ruined. I'm like, to us, maybe a bit because we've seen it all, but not that many people have been watching AEW, and that kind of proved it with it. And now what's cool is like he eliminated Damian Priest, so that could be a first feud. And then he also was like, I think he was eliminated by the Vision, so that could be a first feud. There's options. That was like, there's fun stuff with it.
I just don't see him going right to the main roster.
I don't either. You gotta
declassify yourself before you get up there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, and I still think the NXT Ricky makes the most, or even just go to NXT. Don't mess with it. Like maybe like act like you're gonna save Ricky. Like maybe he helps Ricky win on Tuesday to, attack him next Tuesday to go for the title, whatever.
I don't care what happens down there, but you have to get him
right. Exactly.
You have to get him.
You got to rinse off the stank.
You got to get him DAEW'd.
Yeah. He got to get D-dubbed. He's got to get D-dubbed. Yeah.
It takes a while, man.
You do. You've got to declassify, debrief. He's just got to, it's kind of like when you're what is it like when you're snorkeling or not snorkeling, when you're like scuba diving or whatever, and you can't come up too fast, or you get the bends, like if he comes up to the main Raja, he'll get the bends and just, get all wobbly legged. He needs to just, it'll be fine. He'll be fine. He's older than we think. And that's one of the reasons why it needs to be sooner than later. But like you just said earlier, like he's I think he's 35. Today's 35 isn't 15, 20 years ago, 35. He'll be fine.
I've mentioned to you a number of times, and your dad's in the same boat that I was in when he was coaching, and you brought a kid in from another league or another team, and you're trying to teach your philosophy, and they're a winner from the other team. They don't really pick up on what it takes a while to get into their head and what you want to present.
Oh, yeah. You see that in any sport too. Like when a new coach comes into a team, sometimes like, it takes a second or not a second, but it takes some time to like get your system in place and make things work and get people to believe.
You gotta learn the playbook.
Culture.
That's what I was looking for. Learn the playbook.
Yes. Yeah. I was thinking like change the culture. So we were in the same boat. Yeah. But yeah, Hobbs get knocked out. He wasn't there long. Keys, got to call him Keys, Royce Keys. And that was fine. It was good. Like it's a good, I think it was a good way to debut him to everybody. He's here. He's awesome. He's great. And then like on Raw and SmackDown, let us know he's going to be on NXT. You know what I mean? Just for a little bit. I just don't want him to get lost in the shuffle, but we'll see. There's still also too that maybe when Jericho shows up, Jericho's heavy. There's options for him for sure. This was Bronson Reed is so just like, the Oscilla, the monster. Like you see, he's a beast. Good.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, he really is. LA Knight does eliminate both other, both Theory and
that was interesting.
Bronson Reed. Well, because they were the ones. They were. I mean, remember we haven't seen LA Knight since he was tsunami'd on the car, right? That's when. Yeah. So it's been a minute. So that was the only reason. Like again, I don't think it was him that attacked Braun Breaker, but that would make. We're talking about what could make sense. That could make sense in that level of it because, they were the ones that took it, and he was taking them out here with it. It's not him with it, but.
LA Knight could have paid somebody.
Hey, there. I mean, yeah, that's not a bad shout. This is also fun though. You got a lot of stuff going on in the Rumble, and then you're just waiting for the moment to stop with everybody when the music hits. And I mean, it's one of the Brock's music always has that moment where you hit that note and you just hear everybody go, "Oh shit!" Like it's a collective. I don't care what language it's in. Just oh shit. Just. And then when he's got Heyman next to his side,
that's what I was surprised at.
Right? No matter, Brock's scary always. Brock is Brock. He is terrifying always as Brock. When he's got Heyman at his side, I mean, especially for any of us that saw it from the beginning when he came in and triple powerbomb Spike Dudley and all that stuff when Paul still had hair and a hat. It was horrifying. You're like, oh God, what is this? And that was before the internet where you knew everything about everybody or whatever. Like, what is this guy? And he came in and gave Javon an F20. Like, Jesus
Christ. Javon took that thing so well.
He did. And there was no picture of it that I could find, but he also does later with the Samoan drop or the pop-up Samoan drop where he popped and was like, hang on. Okay, now he's down. There was a second where he was just floating.
Amazing.
The kid is.
That was amazing. That was amazing.
Yeah, it really was. That was one of the fun moments too, because you and I were like, I think you were like a second, maybe a half second ahead of me, and we were both like 8-10 seconds ahead of Dis. So we'd both go, whoa, and then we'd wait and hear, but whoa, that was fun because it was, I mean, and then you got this moment too that everybody was like, oh shit. I mean, that is a moment like. And maybe they do have Obafemi versus Brock at Mania. I don't know. I'm not sure if we're. I don't know. There's options. There's possibilities. I don't think that's where you need to go. Unless Gunther's going to be in a title match or retiring somebody. I mean, you still need Brock and Gunther, don't we? I feel like that's more important.
You would think they're building to that. You would think.
Yeah. But I mean, this is fun to have this face off. You don't have to, this doesn't mean anything has to happen from it right away, but it's cool to have this little moment. Like that's always, fun to have.
It was cool seeing Brock look at him and go, man, you're a pretty big dude.
Big boy. Like, okay. And I feel like Brock, I mean, I don't even feel like we know Brock with his wrestling and UFC background of like, that doesn't scare Brock. That excites him. He's like, okay, let's go. And they both have like the same hairstyle too. I thought that was fun.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, thanks everybody for showing up tonight. We're at 28 likes for the live show.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, no, I've been keeping an eye on the concurrent viewers. We haven't the lowest I've seen is that is 18 total view. Like we've gone up and we haven't gone below that. We've been up like
my goal was 25. Hell, let's make it 30.
Yeah. If you're coming in and new, leave a comment, leave a like. Yeah, it's always subscribe if you haven't. Those are the big ones. That's what's most important to us for sure. We're at 452 subscribers, less than 50 to 500. That's the goal of February, is to get to 500. And then also too, Ilya Dragunov comes in and just trying to attack everybody and doing his best because, I mean, he's a tough little son of a bitch, but maybe don't pick on like Brock. And
you know what's funny about this?
Yeah.
Dragunov came up and he chopped Brock like 7 times.
Mm-hmm.
And you looked at Brock's chest and it was legitimately red.
Yeah.
Didn't even bother him.
Right. I was going to say, I'm like, and he barely noticed. It to him, it looked like it felt like a mosquito, but I'm sure he felt it. But yeah, no, that was.
I looked at his chest and I'm like, holy shit, that's got to hurt. And I'm like, oh, maybe not.
It was got to hurt a human being. I'm not sure what species Brock is, but human being is not it. And again, I'm going to get you. No, you're not. Just catching people and F5ing him all in one motion. And then he does do the German suplex to Obafemi. And like, for a guy Obafemi's size, like, how often does something like that happen in your life? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he tossed the guys around earlier, halfway across the ring. Oba, not that much.
Yeah. No, Oba just got suplexed. The other guys got tossed. You're right. Oba just caught a regular. That was a good suplex. That was nice and it was good. But yeah, because look at that and look at that.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Yeah, Oba, Logan. One more time. Oba, Logan.
Look how low Brock is there.
Jesus.
And how much thrust he can get. Look how higher he is in his bridge there.
That is crazy. I was looking at the other one. You're right. Look at the difference. It's that's awesome. I didn't even realize I did that way. I was just grabbing pictures. That was fun. Oh my God. And then Jey Uso comes out and like has a lay that I think he was just trying to toss and ripped into people. And he was a little bit too jazzed up, but it's the Royal Rumble. That's fine. You gotta be excited for the Rumble.
That entrance took about 2 minutes alone.
I mean, that's smart. I like that plan. If I'm coming out, that's what I'm doing. I'm taking my sweet ass time. I'm not coming out like a crazy person. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. What do I know?
But I don't think when I was running the clock on my own, the clocks don't start till they actually get in the ring. So.
Oh, is that how that works?
That's what I was determining from what I was doing.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
I'm not sure that's official WWE protocol. That's what I was doing.
I forgot about that. We talked about in the Women's Rumble. There was times where it seemed like the 90 seconds was definitely like 2.5 minutes. And there were other times the 90 seconds seemed like 75 seconds.
Yep, so that was true. I had them all timed.
They're not putting up the timer to the last 10 seconds. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I also did like him running back the yeet and Roman telling him to run back the yeet and giving him the Superman punch. That was good because
Roman's entrance woke up the crowd if they were asleep at all at this point. They all jumped up for this one.
Because you start to get that because he was like 26? I think he was 26, I think. Yeah. Yeah, because the last number I had was 25, I think, and he was 26. I was close. I had the number right before both winners on it. But you get to that point of like, who's going to win? I kept saying for it was anybody who was like at the table in the WrestleMania ad they've been running for Vegas. Like that seemed to me like who had your best chance. You could have an outside pick, but for both the men's and women's, that's where, if I was going to give like a top 5, that's where I was going. And with Liv and Roman, it made sense. And then but right after Roman, you've immediately got Fatu. And I feel like anybody who maybe wasn't woken up just yet, everybody's up at this point. No one was sitting down for the rest of the show at this point because it's like
people were jumping now.
Yeah, I mean, because you're still at this point. You've got Cody, you've got Brock, you've got Roman, Fatu. Like you're like, okay. Plus, like people have got issues with each other, like having Roman and Cody face off. Whatever happens between them, they've been the WrestleMania main event twice. Like that's not bullshit. That's not nothing. That's a lot. And then also too, you've got Cody and Jacob. So there was just a lot going on here. Your last few entrants really ramped it up. Which is fun because sometimes with the Rumble it can peter out, but I feel like Triple H knows how to like build the crescendo.
This one kept things going pretty good, actually. There was no like I thought down. So. There was usually you had that down part where you're like, there wasn't much of that.
Which is why I think we both didn't realize we'd gone 4 hours on the show because this was the last match, and I definitely with you. I thought it went 20 minutes less, and I'm like, oh shit, it's this late. Oh, no wonder I'm hungry as hell. But it was fun. And then you had Roman and Jay team up for the 1D. And you knew I kind of was assuming that Cody wasn't going to win. I was hoping for him to have a chance to win only because he was my best number pick of the people that came out. But yeah, Penta came out, and I thought it was funny that Penta this time didn't do the strut. I think he did the strut last year, and they were like, "Hey, buddy, it's the Rumble. Maybe don't dance on the way to
urgency to the ring. Urgency."
Yeah, I mean, if you want to win it, you would think. Although I feel like last year maybe he came out early. Like if you're a single digit, yeah, okay, maybe I am strutting to the ring a little bit, do an extra move or 3. But yeah, even like Cody eliminates LA Knight, and it's like I want to look into this. I'll get back to everybody. I feel like everybody Cody eliminated was a babyface or a tweener. Maybe not. I don't know. Just felt like that. Randy Orton went on his RKO fest.
Yes.
Came in and got Logan. And then again, here's another one. Look at this kid. I mean, good for Javon Evans, man. Like the fact that remember too, he's like had stuff with Rob Van Dam. He's wrestled Jeff Hardy. He wrestled Randy Orton back on NXT sometime last year at one point, because I remember he like missed a move and Randy was like, "It's fine, kid. You're gonna be okay," because he was upset with himself. Oh, he's back. Oh,
sorry about that.
You're good. I was like, all of a sudden, I'm like, wait, where'd George go? All right, we're good.
Hit a button.
You're good. You're on video, just so you know.
I'm an idiot.
You're fine.
Hi, everybody.
You're good. No, I didn't realize all of a sudden, I'm like, I was looking for the next picture and I scrolled down. I'm like, where the fuck's George gone? Either way, Javon Evans, though. That's all. Look at this kid. No, he's wrestled Rob Van Dam, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, and I feel like he wrestled Randy Orton at a good time where, remember Randy Orton and Kofi Kingston with the stupid. Didn't have that, no. And good for Javon. And if Randy's not in the title picture, this could be Javon's Mania match, right?
I would be all for that.
Right? I didn't think of it. Literally watching it the second, I saw this picture when I was grabbing it. I'm like, huh.
Yeah, I'd buy into that 100%. I'd be all over that because you're not gonna have Randy in the main. Yeah. I'm down.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
Right. Accept that. That's good. I like it.
I did. It was this picture that sold me. I was like, well, hang on. I wasn't that way at all until seeing this picture. I was all for it. And then Randy goes back to just arcade. This was a cool spot where he gets this, and then literally Cody hits that. Like Gunther's still up for what a shot. This is amazing how they pulled that off.
This was at the time when because Logan Paul got hit by something in this, didn't he? By one of his RKOs, I think.
Yes, he did. Yeah,
he did. This is when I mentioned also there was too much clutter in the ring.
Yeah, no, you're right.
That's the only thing I can complain about watching it twice is there's too many people in the ring for both Rumbles at one point. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. And it's hard too because it's like you're trying to get to the spot. Like, all right, you got to eliminate people too. Yes. Yeah, no, it's a lot. And there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of stuff going on. You see people like, because Logan Paul's laying down behind Randy Orton right there. That's him on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I didn't realize until just now. And then you got Jey Uso in the corner over there. Yeah, there's just a lot going on. There's spots everywhere. Yeah. And then Cody gets kicked in the face and he's going out, but looks like he's going to come back in. And then Drew's like, suck it. Which, I mean, for a heel move, that's just heel as fuck. You're like not even in the Rumble.
No.
It doesn't even matter. And you're just being he's so good at being
everybody.
a heel. Like,
Everybody forgot about him though because he already wrestled
was
earlier in the night. So you're like,
it was the
oh, he's
match
done for
right
the night, and
before.
you're like, okay, and there's no way he's gonna pop up, and he pops up. You're like,
and it was the match right before, and it was the like with Gunther having him go on right after the women's main Rumble. It was like, okay, he'll come out and he's the last entrant in the men's Rumble. So you're like, okay, and he's still coming out tired. Drew was in the match just before. He's come out into the in his street clothes. Like it's
shirt on, of course.
Yeah. Well, I mean, wouldn't you not if you had his if you had his physique, wouldn't you not wear?
Sure.
And then you've got, but then it comes to Roman just eliminating everybody with it. And it made the most sense again, still, for Roman to either way. I mean, it came down to Roman and Gunther. And I mean, Roman made the most sense to win it because with him, he doesn't wrestle enough or he's not on TV enough to have like in-depth, deep storylines. And he can take on CM Punk or, I guess he could take after Drew, but feels like Punk is the answer, right? I don't know.
We'll see.
Right.
We'll see.
And this is a cool shot where he gets to point at the sign and then you end with the Rumble win and point to the sky.
Plenty of fireworks afterwards too.
Oh yeah. No, he had the fireworks. That was the first one I shot, I thought.
No, plenty. Like the whole town went off. It was amazing. They showed that drone shot from far away, and like,
oh yeah, I forgot about
10
that.
miles away had fireworks. I'm like, all right, cool, good for them.
They knew the time. Yeah, you're right, because it was just the stadium, but they went into the whole city.
That was funny.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good.
So, what'd you think overall? What'd you think?
I mean, overall, I was thoroughly sports entertained. I mean, nothing was egregious. There was no, like, you remember when they had like the spots where you'd bring out a legend and like, it'd be cool to see him. But remember, what was it? The Rumble in Madison Square Garden with like Snuka and like fat Roddy Piper. And Roddy Piper's in my top. Roddy Piper's on my Mount Rushmore. I love Roddy Piper. But for him to be out there in that one was just terrible. Nobody wants to see that. So, it just makes sense. Like, this was great in that sense of it. The women's Rumble was a lot of fun. And I agree with you. Watching it the first time, I thought it was a lot more sloppy and choppy. And there were parts of it where it's a Rumble. It's going to happen. But overall, for an event, it was fun. It was also too nice to be able to be done with the event and have my evening. That was kind of cool. That was different.
Yeah, it didn't suck at all.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That did not suck. No, that was a lot of fun.
Actually, I gave it a solid B. Solid B. I wouldn't even go B+.
I was going to say B+, A-. I'm somewhere in there. Like, yeah, it's somewhere of like a 88 to 92% for me.
Yeah, I'm a tough grader. You know that.
For sure. But I mean, it was a lot of it. That was what the Rumble is supposed to be. And what I also look for me, and you saw it with a lot of the pictures of what sets people up for different things, where like with Royce Keys, like he could go against Damian Priest if they want him to be a heel. And I mean, obviously, I think he's going to go to NXT, but just using him as an example. But he also had the Vision eliminate him. You've got that. Obafemi, he eliminated like, 4, 5 people. You got all of those. I mean, Brock's right there with him, too. There's a million options there.
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff going.
I feel like Trick Williams and Cody has a great program written right in front of it. And then with the women's Rumble, seeing Lash Legend do well, Sol Ruka was the star of the Rumble, essentially. Awesome. Like, just, yeah. There's a lot of great stuff. I mean, Kalani Jordan did well. There was nobody, right? There was nobody who had like any real bad moments. There was nothing like
Jordan Grace looked good too.
She did. Yeah. She did. Yeah.
Everybody, nobody went. There was never a time when we went, oh God, that was terrible. Never once did we say that during our 4 hours yesterday.
Never one of those, oh, that was bad. Yeah.
Didn't happen.
For sure. Yeah, no, this is a good point from RJD. It is going to be weird for having WrestleMania for being done that early. It'll be fun though, but it's crazy though. Nope. Yeah, that's WrestleMania 40. Was it 42, right? Or 43? Because this one's 42. Man, they keep moving quickly. Yeah, but it was. I mean, it's a good way to start the road to WrestleMania. I'm very excited to see both shows this week and the fallout with it and where storylines start to go. And then you build to the Elimination Chamber because, I don't know where Roman goes, and then Liv, there's options too. And neither one has to make their decision right away. I'm not even sure if Roman's on TV this upcoming week. I would assume he's not, just knowing Roman.
Is he normally on SmackDown, right?
He'd been on Raw since it moved to
Seattle.
Netflix.
Who
Yeah.
knows? Okay.
Yeah. No, he moved. Yeah. He was on Raw when it moved to Netflix, but he's not on as much. Like, that's for sure. But yeah, I just don't know which title he would go after. It's also, too, like, I mean, I would assume Punk holds it. I think both guys have to hold the title till Mania. So I just feel like him versus Punk makes the most sense, but there's also Drew. I don't know. See, and that's what I like right there. Like, I don't know. Maybe we'll see. There's a lot of options. I'm open to everything.
Yes. So before we wrap up shop, let's hit on a topic real quick.
Sure.
Everyone knows now that Ava is no longer with. She didn't retired. Let's make that point.
Right.
And
Yeah.
people were speculating as to her replacement. I have said for at least 6 months since we started this channel, probably a month after we started the channel, I have been a strong proponent of Paige coming back to WWE and being the general manager of NXT. I will die on that hill.
Yeah, no, it's a great pick for it. It does it. There's not many other people that would make as much sense for her because you need it to be somebody. That's where when somebody earlier said AJ Styles, like, yeah, it could work, but he didn't even go to NXT. He skipped NXT. Like, having somebody like Paige made her name in NXT. It just makes so much sense. Plus, like, then if she gets into trouble at some point, she can rely on Regal. Like, she doesn't have to ever get back in the ring, but you can. There's options with stuff with them. Also, too, I mean, she's a good talker. She can cut great promos. She's got authority. You know, there's really no miss there. Kind of like when you said Danielson would be a great GM for AEW in general, or just Dynamite.
On that hill too.
Yeah. No, there's just nobody better that could do it in their company and that would actually be like legitimate. And with Paige, I feel like that would make the most sense. I've yet to hear anybody else that would be better for it, unless, like, I don't know if Adam Cole can't wrestle anymore and wants to come back, I guess, because you need somebody who made, I don't know, I was just thinking of somebody who made their name in NXT. And NXT's too new to have that many people who can't wrestle that made their name in NXT. I mean, Samoa Joe would be another one, but he's still wrestling. So Paige just, no, you said whenever you said that before, I was like, because I always tried to give Ava a fair shake, because I felt like the problem with her was that people were immediately comparing her to The Rock, where she literally, and that's not her fault where she was born. Right. And I'm not saying she was great. She was getting better, and some parts were decent, but yeah, you could tell. I feel like there was a point somewhere in the past 6 months where I kind of just felt like her heart wasn't in it. And so when I heard that she didn't renew her contract, I wasn't surprised. Now, people are saying that she was released. She was not. Like George said, she wasn't released. She wasn't fired. She just didn't renew her contract, and you can't blame her. It's like she doesn't, maybe it's something that she thought she wanted to do, have the heart to do it, and she just doesn't. That's fine.
Maybe she loves doing it, wants to move on to something else. Hey,
yeah,
God bless her.
Right? Yeah, she's a young girl. She's got plenty of time. She's got her whole life ahead of her, and she can always come back if she really wants to with it. But I'm interested to see where they go with it from there, because there's definitely a lot of options. I assume Shawn Michaels steps in on Tuesday just to lay down any laws or whatever, and the stuff with Tony D that's going on. But because that's the other thing too, is the one thing we talked about with NXT was like Tony D needs to speak on the next show, and he did. He talked to Ava, and he's like, all right, I'm going to go in the ring and give my piece on this February 3rd episode. I'm like, oh, it's perfect. They didn't ring it out too long. Yeah, I thought maybe that was the one thing the one major note I took. Yeah, I see Kevin Pierpont saying like Regal needs to be the GM. I don't know if he like wants to do that full time anymore with it. I think he'd be more of like, he'd be great. That's where Paige is a great GM, because then he can be her like advisor, her counsel if she needs it, like when there's a bad situation going on. Like if she was a great example is if she was the GM for the last year and then Obafemi vacates the title, she could the next week go to Regal. What do I do here? How do I figure this out? What, help me with this? Or
you just have Regal come out and say, for NXT, I'm fantasy booking this out. Yeah. Have Regal come out for the beginning of NXT saying, there's no general manager now, I'll take over the show, and then blah, blah, blah. And he introduces Paige that night. That'd be kind of cool.
Ava is all elite. Debuts as the Pebble.
That's not him.
No, it's just you and Kiwi is joking. I do like this.
That's funny though.
Mike Glass is correct. Yeah, if George is right about this, yeah, we're calling him the wise man or the oracle on this one because he's had a couple of good.
Yeah, it's a long shot, but I thought this was a while ago too.
Yeah, no. The thing is, it was a long shot a while ago, and because you bet on, it's kind of like, and most people will get this, but it was a 2016-17 Premier League season. Leicester City won the title. They had been relegated a few seasons before. I think they were a 5,000 or a 50,000 to 1 shot to win the league at the start of the league if you bet on it. And then as it got closer when they won it, it got lower and lower. You're back there where like, I'm taking this at the full money where you're paying it out from 6 months ago, let alone if people are talking about it now. Anybody bringing to the table now is getting, 5 to 1 odds. You got 500 to 1. Because when it was, I think you said it like, because you haven't been watching NXT that long, and you said it pretty early on into watching NXT.
Right, way early on, yes.
Yeah. No, that's a valid one. That's a good one. No, it's a good note to end on because if you nail that out, that'll be a really, really good.
That'll be a short. That'll be a short I make.
Yeah, that'll be we'll celebrate that one. All right, cool. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. We're here every single Sunday, 8:05 p.m. Eastern, except for this upcoming Sunday because of the Super Bowl. Stay tuned. We'll give you the exact start time for that one when we figure it out for the timing of it. I still got to look at the time for the Super Bowl, but we're not trying to go up against the biggest sporting event in North America. That'd be stupid. So European and English and across the pond audience, pay attention. You can hang out with us live next Sunday. And then we're back here this Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern for our AEW Dynamite review. You can catch me on Toonie Talk Wrestling this Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/@ToonWrestling. You can also follow us on Twitter, X as well. Both of our handles are either in the scroll or anything's in the description as well. You can donate to the channel if you choose. Please subscribe, though. That's the biggest way you guys can help. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we will catch you next time.
Super Bowl officially starts at 5:30 p.m. Eastern on Sunday.
All right. Yeah. So we got to go like 90 minutes. All right, cool. We'll figure it out. Sweet. Peace, everybody.
We appreciate you making it to the end of the video. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you.